What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Amazing stuff. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are a talk show, so that means we are live. And we take phone calls. We are live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Thursday. You can call in at any point during the show by calling 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we can get into whatever you want to talk about. Today's topic, yesterday's topic, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can get into it. All in the name of Jesus, I'm here for it. So if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the YouTube description, or you can go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button, send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. Amazing stuff. Harmony says, how was that fat burger yesterday? When I tell you that either fat burger, at first it goes, my two favorite burger places is in this order, top three. First it goes, why am I blanking out on my favorite place? I'm blanking out. But I'll get back to it. Fat burger's number two, and then number three is In-N-Out. Top three. First one is crap. Not Five Guys. It is in LA. There's only a few chains. And what the heck? Not Baker's. Now everybody's trying to help me figure out. Not Baker's. You guys would never guess it. It starts with an S, I think. Oh man. It's in LA and it's across the street from Fat Burger. Not Umami Burger. Not Sonic. Dang, I forgot the name. When I remember, I'll come back to it. Not Shake Shack. Not Sonic. And Bill and I talk about all the time. Where's Bill when I need Bill? Bill knows what I'm talking about. Bill the engineer. But I have to come back to it. Not McDonald's. Anyway, those are my top three favorite ones. And I'll tell you my number one as soon as I remember it. But let's get to the topic. Let's get right into it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It is Monday. Happy Monday. Start of a new week. Let's jump right into it. We are live, though, on IG, YouTube, Facebook, and Punchy.tv. Don't forget about Punchy.tv. That is the home of the Bond Network shows. So you want to make sure you also watch Punchy.tv. Okay? I'm streaming on there as well, as long as YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So wherever you want to watch it, we're all over the place. JFTV. Across the board, all platforms. Well, not all, but all the good ones. You know what I mean? So, Astro Burger! Thank you, Hate. That's my number one. Astro Burger. My favorite burger place in the entire world. I ain't been that many places, so I can't say the entire world. But out of all the places I've been, Astro Burger is my favorite place to get burgers. Number two is Fat Burger, and number three is In-N-Out. But In-N-Out is not enough food, so I always get a double and a single burger with fries and a drink. Because a man got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So top 3 right there. So yeah, Harmony. Those are my top 3. And the burger was so good. The Habit is good too, but not my favorite. You're right, Jasmine. Don't start with the S. I thought. But Astro has an S in it. Anyway. So, in other news, Celine Dion. Celine Dion. Many of you guys know who Celine Dion is. She is a famous singer. Okay? She's made many songs that we know and love. And she has a documentary on Prime Video that's very interesting. I watched it. And it all ties in with my topic today. Sincerely, God the Indian Giver. A lot of you guys are criticizing me for my title, but you're judging a book by the cover. Let me read the book to you, okay? So Celine Dion has a documentary called I Am on Prime Video. It's called I Am. Interesting title. Speaking of God, right? It's called I Am. It was a very interesting documentary because I realized some things from it that I wanted to share with you guys. Because she said some interesting things. So just like a recap, I'm not gonna spoil it. Well, maybe a tiny a little bit, but you could still watch it. She talks about how she's battling with an illness for a long time, 17 years, but nobody knew because she kept it a secret because she didn't want her fans to know, right? That was her mindset about it. But the illness was called stiff person syndrome, SPS. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. But really quick, before we get into stiff person syndrome, just a few reminders of some of the songs that she's sang in case you're like, who is Celine Dion? Because we got some Gen Z viewers. And a lot of Gen Z don't even know who Michael Jackson is. A lot of Gen Z don't know Elvis or Prince. All they know is Beyonce. So I just gotta remind them. You know what I mean? And a lot of popular songs are like, Because You Love Me, Because You Love Me. That's one of them. My Heart Will Go On, Titanic theme song. If you ain't seen the Titanic, what are you doing? You ain't an alpha male if you ain't seen the Titanic and cried. You ain't an alpha male. And The Power of Love. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm your lady. You are my man. So good. That's another one. That's Celine Dion. That's just to name a few. She has a lot that you got. But point, all seriousness, she's a very good singer. Like insane. Her singing ability is insane. Probably, if not the best, up there, top 3, as far as vocal ability. Now, as far as the things she believes in and stuff like that, all that stuff, that's up to your own opinion, but an incredible singer. And she, in the documentary, had stiff person syndrome. So she's been battling with this for a long time. And I have a clip I want to show you guys where she talks about what it's like to deal with that. And this is from Reese's vid said Joel Beta. And now I'm playing. This from YouTube and Prime Video. Here is where Celine explains what the illness has done to her singing ability. Okay? Here we go. Oh, shoot. Let's go back. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to fix it.
When I try to breathe, my lungs are fine. It's what's in front of my lungs that's so rigid because of stiff person syndrome that it's like I know you. That's what happens. It's like I know what I want to do. I know you can show me, yeah. And that's what happens, and it's very difficult for me to hear that and to show this to you. I don't want people to hear that.
So keep in mind, this lady is like a legend when it comes to vocal ability. All her life. I mean, since she started in like, I don't know, she was like 18 or something, up until like however old she is, probably 60s, maybe early 70s, and still have this crazy, insane voice. That's impressive. And then to go to be battling with this disease over the years and it like tear her voice away, that's what she's experiencing. But it was so deep because I realized something when she said it, and it kind of makes my point even further about my episode that I talked about on last Thursday that had to do with, what did I talk about? I have it here. What's important to you, right? We talked about that on Thursday. What's important to you? And it was so interesting because what I got from that is that she's losing her God-given ability, her gift, right? She's losing it. And in the interview, she says this, and this is where like it shaped my whole entire show today. Literally, when she said this, I was like, I'm talking about it on Monday. She says in the documentary, my voice was the conductor of my life. I was following it. You lead the way, I follow. And I don't know this lady's life. I don't know, I can't say that I know what my opinion that I'm about to say about this is for sure. I can't say that, right? This is just my opinion. But when you put anything above God, good luck. Good luck to you. Because God gave us the gift, right? Or whatever the gift may be. When it's added by him, God gave us the gift, right? And if you don't turn around and point to him in you being successful for that gift or that gift benefiting you, and if you don't turn around and give the glory back to him, then he'll take that thing away. He will take that thing away. That's why I said God, the Indian giver. And it's not a negative term. It's just the facts. Is that he'll give you a gift, but he will take it back. If you don't point to him and give him the glory for it, because it's because of him you got it. So you got to give glory to God in return, because that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the gifts we've been given. That's the whole point of when things are added to you, is that they're a responsibility to use them properly. And when you don't, he'll make an example out of you. And it's not because he wants to hurt you. It's because he loves you and he wants you to recognize what it really is, the purpose of it. So when you say things like, my voice was the conductor of my life, I was following it, you lead the way, I follow. And you think about Celine Dion's entire career, you know what I mean? Like, she's a superstar. You know, everybody's praising her and love her because she has this crazy, insane voice. One of the best, if not the best, female vocalist. There's many. There's other ones up there, right? But, you know what I mean? You can imagine what that can do to the ego, but also the ego of a lady. With all that praise, all that fame, all that stuff can get to your head. Anybody's head in general, but a lady's head at that. The ego can get involved. And like I said, I don't know her life. These are just my opinions, but you start to think like, what are we doing here? And then things get a little wishy-washy. And then you start, you know, praising the gift. And the gift becomes the idol. And we all do it in different ways, right? And it's like what JLP said in church, what idols do you worship? Golden Rule TV says, not even close. And I think he's referring to when I said that Celine Dion is one of the greatest. Golden Rule TV, by the way, is like the number one person to combat anything I say about pop culture, because he's an older guy. So he thinks that my millennial take is false. But I appreciate it. Right on. Anyway. Anything you put before God will be taken away, because it needs to give glory to God. So I thought that was so interesting to me. And it made me also think about that the industry too. The industry is created to almost like exploit all innocence and twist it and suck the life out of it. That's what the industry machine does to you. And I know, because I had my foot in there. I won't say I was all the way in the industry, because it's all the same stuff, whether it's dance, dance, singing, rapping, acting. It's all the entertainment industry. All plays by the same rules. So it demands one thing, and it demands you to do what it says. And in return, you'll get fame and fortune, right? Popularity. But it will suck the life out of you, because it survives off of exploiting what you have to share its message. So you have an industry that's constantly feeding the person's ego and ego and ego. Then you end up making a documentary, which was, I like it, was a decent documentary, but you name it I Am. You know what I mean? So the industry is a tricky thing, and it makes me also think of the Hawk Tuah girl. You guys remember that Hawk Tuah girl? If you don't know who that is, I ain't about to explain it. But there's this Hawk Tuah girl that's going viral all over the internet. And what's funny is that really she's just this country girl. Like, she made some like derogatory, inappropriate comments on a live video. Not a live video, but like a YouTube man on the street type of video. And she went viral. And she's all over the place, known as the Haktua girl, which was like a nasty statement, right? But if you really like pay attention, she's a Southern girl. She's from the South. She's from the country, and she's not as nasty as most people think, right? Because if you see her like on the internet, actually like talking and having normal conversations, the industry itself, like these different podcast people, these entertainers, because she's all over the place. She's doing interviews. She's going to like UFC fights. She's like now like this like star, right? Based off of these like inappropriate comments she made. But they treat her as such. They treat her as such, as this girl who's into these things, right? But when you look at it, it doesn't even seem like she's really even into that kind of stuff. She's a Southern girl from the country, and she might be, she might be into that a little bit. But my point is when you see her on these podcasts, they ask her these nasty questions. These industry people, these podcast celebrity people, they ask her all these inappropriate things because they're inappropriate. So they tried to like, I don't know, pull that out of her and like push it more, right? But the way sometimes she gets uncomfortable by the questions that they ask. She's like, you know what I mean? Because they go real dirty with it. And that's what the industry does. They just try to suck the life out of you. So she's like, they're asking me these questions and she's like, don't say that. Say it like this. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of like caught off guard too because at the same time, she's just country girl from the South. You know what I mean? And the South and the country, they may be, but for the most part, they're not into all the dirty stuff like the industry and the city people are. As much, right? They're not as corrupt. And she's young. She's like in her early 20s and stuff like that. And she's just like this like country girl. I don't know her life either, so I don't know what she'd be doing behind closed doors. But it was just interesting watching her cringe at some of these things that. So the point is I wonder if the industry will. I can't say what I wanted to say. Corrupt her. And it's not the industry's fault, it's the individual's fault, of course. But that's what the industry does. It draws in the innocence, it corrupts it, twists it, and spits it back out. Right? But it uses you up. So I wonder if the industry is going to do that to the Haktua girl, if she's going to completely just become like an industry person. But that's what it does. And anything that is not, when God's not first, he'll take it away. And it's happened before plenty of times in my life, still happens in my life today. Because he wants you to know that he better be first. So, anyway, my last point, and I'm going to get to some calls, 888-775-3773. I want to hear what you guys think about it. Do you guys, what do you guys think when I say God is an Indian giver? You know what I mean? What do you got? What are your guys' thoughts on it? But my last thing I want to say about that is God gives generously. And the question is, can you handle it? Can you handle it? And will you use it for the glory? And it doesn't have to be so deep and holy, like, oh, I'm using this for God's glory. No, it doesn't have to be all like that, right? You ain't got to be praised, because that's how the church does it. They just be overly praising. It's not about that, but it's also about just keeping that in mind. Like, am I exploiting this? Am I using this in the wrong way? Am I, you know what I mean? But just keep in mind, he'll take that thing away from you in a second. Be careful. Watch your back. Because you guys will blame Satan for it. God don't be playing either. God ain't playing. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Let me get to some calls and I'll get to you guys' super chats. Let me go to Frederick out of Los Angeles. Frederick, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Frederick. Hold on one second, Fred. It might be muted on our end here. Fred, could you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, you are so right today.
Right on.
I gotta give you your props.
Right on. In what way?
Because like Celine Dion, sometimes when like you are blessed with a gift and you have enough to make it, sometimes you need to quit when you're ahead, and overdoing yourself to an old age might overdo your body.
Yeah.
And you might, you know what I'm saying? It's like your health to get taken away. You could have retired 20 years earlier and lived your life with the money you had, but instead you want to keep doing it and overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being happy with your blessings.
That's a good point. That's a good point too. You also got to know when to stop, you know what I mean, and not get carried away, because you want to be able to age.
It for the thrill.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
doing it for the ego.
You want to be able to age gracefully. You should be able to bow out gracefully and let your life kind of just slow down. That's a natural part of life. You don't want to get carried away. You're right about that.
If you go out there and you dance to you 96, Joel, don't be mad you got arthritis.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, that's
so
true.
I'm like, let me get them knees from you.
Yeah. Let me take back
But
them
all
knees.
right. I just wanted to say, yeah, I understand. And another thing with them Hebrew Israelites, God Indian gave with Abraham and took his blessings from the first son and gave them to his second son, and that's why everything all screwed up with the Muslims and the Jews right now about the blessings and who's the chosen people. Indian giving. God, he's a mess.
Right on, Frederick. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in.
Not a problem. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hey, man. It ain't no game. But no, Frederick makes a good point, is that we have to surrender to the process of life. And it ain't easy. It's a struggle. But you also don't, want to get carried away either. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know Celine Dion's life, but, you don't have to be a superstar at 80, 90, 100 years old. You know what I mean? But that's what happens when you get caught up in these things, that it's hard to let go because you get an identity from them. You know what I mean? You get identity from them, and sometimes it's like, hey, we got to hang it up now. You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing that I know for a fact. Hold on, I got some eye boogers, I think. What the? I hope you guys didn't see them. But I'll tell you one thing I know for a fact is that my entire life, I'm not lying when I say it, I mean this. My entire life, all I ever known is wanting to be a dancer, wanting to be a choreographer, stuff like that, right? My entire life. I don't even remember not dancing. My earliest memory is popping the Michael Jackson cassette tape into my boombox as a little kid and dancing. Doing the splits, doing the, all that stuff. Like, that was my earliest memory. My entire life, up until that point, I would make little dance routines with my friends. And my friends would be mad at me. They're like, I don't want to do that today. Friday. They would call me Friday growing up. I don't want to do that today, Friday. Can we go do something else? And I played sports as well my whole life too. But on the times where it was just like what I wanted to really do, it was just me dancing. And I would make all my cousins and all my friends do routines with me. And they used to all be mad at me. I don't want to do a routine today. I just loved doing it. I just loved it. It was fun. I played sports all my life, and I was really good at them. And my coaches would tell my mom, he's really good at sports. You should make him take it serious. And my mom would ask me, and she said, do you want to do it? And I used to tell her, no, I want to dance. And she would tell my coaches, he doesn't want to take it serious. He wants to dance. That was always what it was. And up until this point, like, that's all I did. And then when I graduated, I became, I started taking it more serious. In high school, I used to watch this dance team in high school, and I used to be like, oh my God, these people are so cool, right? I loved it. And, but I didn't try out or nothing. I graduated and then went to school to play baseball because I was like, you know what, I'm pretty good at this. I need to figure out what I'm going to do in my life. Let me go play baseball. Went to go do that. Couldn't get no classes, so I couldn't get on the baseball team. The only class that was available was the dance team. Took the dance class. First day, the teacher was like, we're having auditions. You should come try out. Went and tried out. Made the B team. Didn't even make the A team. I was so pumped. I'm like, this is it. I'm doing this. Started dancing, one thing led to another, got into the industry, got signed to one of the biggest dance agencies out here in Los Angeles. And just was doing things here and there, traveled around a little bit, did some cool things, blah, blah, blah. But that's when I realized the industry wasn't for me. And then I started a dance program for young kids because I saw that the industry was trying to steal the innocence from me. And I got away from it, and then I seen that they were doing that, still doing it to this day, but doing that to the young kids. So I started a dance program so I can kind of like guide them in a better direction. So I did that for like years and years and years, teaching kids for like 12, 13, 14 years. You know what I mean? And that was my life, and I was like, this is what I want to do. But fast forward to today, is that I'm not even doing that anymore. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring, but I closed my studio program down. I don't have it right now. I'm still licensed, still registered, but I don't have it right now. It just took a turn. The podcast here started growing a little bit more. I got more hours and blah, blah, blah. But I went with the flow of life. That's what the point is, that I never in my mind thought I would ever not be dancing. As crazy as it sounds, as silly as it sounds, honestly, that was like what I love to do. But it stopped, it slowed down, and it's not here. It's not in front of me anymore. And I was able to let go of it. I was able to let go of my grip on it. And that was because God was leading me to the natural flow of life. And it closed. One door closed, but another one opened. And I don't even know if it's fully closed. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but right now it's not in front of me. But we have to be okay with that. You know what I mean? We don't want to be holding on to things for whatever reasons. Life just got to happen. And when life happens, God gives you things that fulfill you, and he adds them onto you, and it's more than you desired, right? And you want to follow that process. So we wish Celine Dion well, but, you know, sometimes that happens. You start praising the gift and not the giver. And then you lose the gift because you forgot about the giver. And that's happened to me before plenty of times in my life. I dealt with that, and I'm still dealing with that. Where I got to be humble, got to be humble, got to be humble. But you just got to accept it and you just got to move forward. So I think that her voice is getting better. I think she's getting better according to like what I've seen recently. She's singing better. She's getting back to it. But I hope that she had a revelation that, I was making this stuff too important, because she'll get back out there and maybe next time she'll lose her life. And it ain't worth it. So it's okay to bow out gracefully. It's okay to bow out, because there's another side of life. There's another side of life that's waiting to be lived. Another part of life that's waiting to be lived, right? The next step in life. It doesn't mean death. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean death or like, it just means like, okay, now let's move on to something else that I have for you in store. So that's how God operates. That's why money and I'm rambling at this point, but it's good. It's good stuff. Money and all that stuff have nothing to do with God's will. God's will supplies all your needs and your wants. So you don't need to chase money. You don't need to chase women. You don't need to chase marriage. You don't need to chase children. You don't need to chase nothing. You don't even need to chase God. You don't even need to chase God. You just need to have your faith in him and surrender to his will. And I'm working on that myself. But you surrender to God's will, because when it's in God's will, for one, you have no stress and no anxiety, no worries, but also he adds what you really need, what you're really looking for. Not this little satisfaction that money gives and relationships give you here that come and go, right? But he'll give you what you really need: love, peace, that lasts forever, that doesn't go away. Look, God's will is where it's at. So, what the? Let me get to some super chats. Because I think I missed a couple on Thursday, I think it was. So let me get to those really quick here. Let me see. Hold up. Because I think there were some good ones. I did harmonies. I got harmonies. I remember harmony. Kale Samogi. I forgot to get to Kale's chat. And Kale says, JC and people like him scream equality, but they would never in a million years hire a male to babysit their kids. Did I get to that one? People scream equality, but they would never in a million years hire a male babysitter to babysit their kids. I think I read that. Oh, okay. Kel says his was from Wednesday. Oh, okay. That's what I'm going through too, Joel. I knew God loved me and I used his grace to smoke pot and have sex out of wedlock. I realized I used God's peace of mind and grace for me to abuse the flesh. Interesting. Let me make sure I understand what you mean. I knew God loved me and I used his grace to smoke pot and have sex out of wedlock. I realized I used God's peace of mind and grace for me to abuse the flesh. Oh, I see what you're saying. So what I think Kayla is saying, which is an interesting point, is that because he knew that he was forgiven, because he knew that all his sins were washed away, and that God's grace doesn't let you, get like go to hell for your mistakes. Because he knew that, it allowed him to be okay with smoking pot or getting into vices, right? It allowed him to accept it and do it. And he see that he was abusing God's grace. And I understand with that point too, because you're not supposed to just do what you want and be free. I mean, not be free, but just do what you want and be careless. Yes, I agree, but I also believe that he's not mad at people, mad at you for being free and doing what you want. Because you should not do these things, these vices that we have, right? We should not do these things because we see that they don't bring life, right? But we should not do them because we think we're going to go to hell, or we think that it's bad because we think that we're going to be in trouble. It shouldn't be like that. We should want to do the right thing and want to do walk the narrow path because we see that's the way to go. So God's not mad if we still do the things that we want to do. He just knows that we're not ready to overcome yet. In my opinion. He knows we're not ready to overcome yet, so he'll just let us play, but his grace is still there. Right? He'll let us play, but his grace is still there. But he'll also let us suffer when we need to suffer. Because I believe I think that God wants us to do the right thing because we experience his love. That's it. Not because we feel guilty, not because we think he's mad, not because, like, he wants us to choose it. He wants us to choose him. Not out of guilt, shame, expectation, none of that. Because he'll let us go be wild and free. And guess what? Even though we're wild and free and crazy, acting up, going nuts, his grace is still there. His grace is there for the devil. Just imagine that. His grace is there for the devil, the one that has no light, nothing. So imagine how his grace is there for you still. And when you're ready to choose him, that's when life changes. So, yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. But great super chat, Kel. I appreciate it. No chasing. Jasmine says no chasing. No chasing nothing. Not even God. Don't chase God. Don't chase him. Don't chase Jesus. Don't chase Mother Mary. Don't chase nothing. Because chasing has to do with your ego. It's desperate. It's desperate. Just have faith in God. We're just supposed to have faith in God. That's all we can really do. We can't change anything. We just have to have faith in God. And God will add all things to us. We're not supposed to chase nothing. God ain't supposed to be on no pedestal. Nothing. Nothing. We're to live life and learn as you go. Make mistakes. Be free. And live your life. And you learn in the process. Linnea and Chin says, Prince of Prance, prancing and romancing the soul of the ladies without having to make physical contact is very masculine. Don't trust JC on that. Listen, you guys need to stop triggering JC, okay? Because JC's going to call into my show and he's going to be calling out the chat. And he know he can't be doing that. But you guys are tempting JC to come for y'all in the chat. Lee JC. But I appreciate it, Lin Yan Chin. Right on. Thank you for the super chat. Should have wore a wife beater. What the? Never mind. Let me move on. Let me check these super chats here. Make sure I got them all. Okay, I think we're good. By the way, guys, I almost was about to drop the hashtag Let God Cook t-shirts, but you guys told me to take out the hashtag. It was too old. So now I'm thinking of a new idea. I'm trying to put some new stuff together. So if you got some ideas, send them to joelfridaytv@gmail.com. But I got to think of a new one. Because if I make a tee, you guys better wear it. So if I'm making a t-shirt, you guys better wear it. Lin Yan Chin with another super chat says, we are to relax in the grace of God. Only inner stillness can one embrace God's grace. 100%, Lin Yan Chin. Relax in the grace of God by doing nothing, by chasing nothing. 100%. And God will just add all things. We don't got to worry. None of that. Joel shining in that white shirt like an angel. You see me? Oh, man. I went to the beach and I got a tan. So I'm tanner. But this whole shoulder here and on this side is peeling. This whole side is peeling. My 30% coming out. All this right here, just look flakes. Looking crazy. So no tanks, no tank tops happening here. I was super close to buying a Hake shirt. Yeah, Hake Report has some great t-shirts too. Go to hakereport.com and buy some James Hake t-shirts. He got some pretty cool designs on there too. Go check that out. Nice. I gotta end soon. But what else did I want to tell you guys? Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about the t-shirts. Let God Cook. We working on some new stuff. Let God Cook. So we're gonna have that coming. Oh, what if I do a t-shirt that says, and let me know what you guys think, that says no, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna surprise you guys with that one. I'll save that one. But the Trump one, the one that has Trump on it, says Let God Cook, I like that one too, but that one still needs a little bit more work. So we're working on that. But we're going to have some merch. Merch dropping soon. JFTV merch dropping soon. So stay tuned for that. I don't wear t-shirts. Terry, you going to wear a JFTV t-shirt. I don't care if you don't wear t-shirts. You're wearing them today. Last announcement, and then I'm gonna end here soon. CG on Instagram says, I forgot Joel in the fridge for a second when I was getting water. You put the phone in the fridge and left it in there. No wonder why I was getting a little chilly. Amazing stuff. Check out the Punchy TV very first premiere episode today at 2 p.m. Pacific time. For those that don't know what that is and that are watching the show, this is a brand new show that I'm a part of with my other podcast hosts. that have their own podcasts. We are doing a podcast of all of us together. There's 4 of us. And we're all doing a show together. Every Monday release, but today is going to be the only live episode, so you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson. He's the owner of the organization. So if there's no JLP, there's no Joel Friday TV Network, The Hake Report, American Anchor Baby, Punchy TV, none of that exists. So shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson, JLP, and the JLP Show. He is also going to be a part of the show, and he will be live with us today. The founder and the owner himself is part of the show. So at 2 p.m. today, make sure you guys tune in. Go to Punchy TV on YouTube. Punchy, Punchie TV on YouTube, and subscribe and tune in at 2 p.m. today live. And follow us on Instagram as well. Punchy TV on Instagram. We got some stuff coming. You guys don't even know. You ain't got no clue. But all of us here, we're getting to work, baby. Making it happen. All right, guys, I got to go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We're back here again tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific time for another show. Just a reminder, don't believe nothing I say. I could be lying. Think for yourself and know for yourself, because I can always be wrong. And have your own mind, your own thoughts, your own opinions. And stop chasing. Let God cook. Until next time, y'all. American Anchor Baby also at 4 p.m. today. Go check him out. And I'll see you guys at 2 p.m. if the Lord is willing. I'll see you guys at 2 p.m. Pacific time with my fellow co-hosts. All right, guys, gotta go. I'll see you. Bye.